Hey guys, this is Moon again. This has been a long requested video by several people in my group. It's on how to gather data. I will be providing a free resource below utilizing AI slash ChatGPT. I'm going to give you an exact script to make your data gathering look like, let's just see, make it look like this, right? You have everything organized. You have the day, the date, the news. You have everything right in a nice, neat format. And ChatGPT can do that for you with this script. So you would just copy and paste this script into ChatGPT, and you'll get it to look just like this, all right, in this format. So besides just that script, how do we gather data, right? We gather data in this way, and it's very systematic for me, right? So I already did it. For example, next week we have core PPI, core CPI, right? So for core PPI, we have 8:30 a.m. core PPI, 10 a.m. preliminary UOM consumer sentiment, and preliminary UOM inflation expectations. Now, these particular two newses on the bottom are pretty new. For the last 2 years, they're pretty much really new type of news. But what we do care about is core PPI, right? So you see these pictures on the bottom. You're wondering, how do I gather them? Well, I use a free resources we have available to ourselves, like FX Replay. Why do I say free? Because I don't really pay for it. I just use an email generator and I get a new email every time, like the 5-day trial ends. Um, and the thing is, let's say we have 10 years of data, right? We don't have 20, we have 30 because then you start to get several market cycles that mix in with each other. I want the most recent market cycle, at least 2 to 3 market cycles. 10 years is a good amount of time, right? So I'll have 10 years of information, and it sounds crazy. I mean, it is a little bit, right? I'll have April 2024 all the way to April 2014, right? And if you look inside, now you'll have to go on FX Replay because you don't have a time vault, but you can create yours. So I'll label it April 2024 all the way to April 2020 or April 2014. You go to FX Replay or you go to Forex Factory, you look at the date, core CPI, core PPI, right? Core PPI was on Thursday, April 11th, 2024, right? And you would basically do that for all years, all the way until 2014. Look for that exact news, input that information to FX Replay. And the thing is, I don't do candle to candle back testing. That's not what I'm here to do. I do not have the time. It will take way too long. And for the information I'm looking for, it really isn't necessary. All I'm looking for is my entry model, how long the trade will last, when the trade activates, my little checklist here, 2 actionable steps. 3 is my filter, right? So my 2 actionable steps are 1 hour swing or fair value gap, my 5 minute change in state of delivery from 9:30 through 11, and my filter is high impact news. It's important to have a filter, right? But you could use any strategy and gather data in this way, right? The beautiful thing about this is when you gather data in this way, where you're only looking at specific filtered out dates, we're not looking for January core PPI, we're looking only for April core PPI. You just filtered it down to only that month's seasonality, only that month's tendencies, only that news's tendencies, right? What you start to find is there's a commonality, there's a very common trait that these news have when you filter it out. I like to use this, right? I'll have my shortest extension hold time, which is, you pretty much know this from the high and low probability video, how short the trade will last, how long, what's the longest amount of time the trade will last, what's the average amount of time the trade will last, and what's the entry time in which the trade activates, right? So sometimes it'll be 9:30 to 10:35 for this news. Some news is even shorter, like CPI on Thursday is from 9:30 to 9:50, so a shorter range, right? But we do that same process for every single news, right? And you have a lot of foresight because let's say, for example, um, last Friday, right? This trade, it was framed out from this that I had documented before for NFP. I framed out the longest amount of time it will last is 7 hours and 5 minutes. And on Friday, it lasted 7 hours and 5 minutes, right? It lasted all the way to the market close. That's not by coincidence. You can do it too, right? Providing with the free resource I gathered below, you'll have an easier time formatting it than I did because I had to prompt ChatGPT a lot. So I want to make this video kind of short because there's not much to it except the actual gathering data itself, right? So you can use Forex Factory to make sure you got all the news properly, only red folder news. And that's pretty much it. And I do that on the weekends, right? Because it does take a little bit of time. So for the rest of the week, it's smooth selling. And I basically have an idea of whether I'm risk on, risk off, what I want to partake in, what I don't want to partake in. And that's basically it. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Please use the free resource I gathered below for you guys in the link in the description. Hope you liked the video. Comment below if you learned anything. And have a blessed rest of your day and blessed rest of your weekend. All right.